You're listening to episode 99 of Lifestyle Locker Radio with Dr. Josh Hant.
Hi, I'm Dr. Josh Hant, and welcome to Lifestyle Locker Radio, where we help you create an awesome life and lifestyle. From nutrition to fitness, mindfulness to peak performance, and relationships to money mindset, we bring you on an amazing journey to help you unleash your human potential.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. Josh Hant. I want to thank all of you for listening. This is our 99th episode, which is a big episode, and we're just shy of 100 right now, and this is really amazing. So I want to thank all of you that have been listening since the beginning, and I want to thank all of you new listeners that this may even be your first episode. There have been some great people on the show. There are many more to be coming to you very, very soon. So a little bit about me. Yeah, I'm a full-time chiropractor. I see patients in New York City, and I absolutely love sharing natural health and well-being and wellness with people that show up in my practice. I also need an avenue of getting all of this information out to people on lifestyle, and that's why I created Lifestyle Locker, because there's so much to be taught, so much to be learned. I mean, I need to learn a lot, right? As well as everyone else does. So this website, this podcast is designed to help you learn, to be a resource for you, to connect you with amazing people, amazing leaders in the wellness world, from everything from sleep to nutrition to farting. My goodness, we have some pretty amazing and fun episodes. So I bring this to you so that you have resources, so you have something to do on your commute, so you have something to do while you're on the treadmill, while you're on a run or on a hike, or if you need something to do, if you're not a reader and don't like reading books, I want this to be for you so you can actually digest some great information, learn something, and have it impact your life every week. So I want to thank you again, and here's the next episode. Hey everyone, I want to share this with you. For those of you that have been following me on social media, you all know that I am training right now for a 50-mile ruck. What that means, many of you are probably going, I've heard of like 50-mile run. This is a ruck, R-U-C-K. It's put on by an organization called Go Ruck. And if you want to think of the backpacks that people in the military carry, they're called rucksacks. So I have this rucksack, this military rucksack. It's actually pretty cool. It's got the little Velcro thing with my name on it. It's got an American flag on it. I also have like reflectors and all sorts of stuff, because we need to have those things for safety when we're doing these events. But what it is, this military rucksack has, in mine particular, for my height and weight, I have 20 pounds of sand in there. I have about 2 liters of water, snacks, jacket, gloves, things that I'll need on this thing. So I'm pushing close to 30 pounds between the pack, and everything's in it. And this ruck, I'll be starting. It's in New York City. It's called the 50-mile Star Course by Go Ruck, and we start at 9 p.m. in New York City, and then we go to 5 p.m. the next day. That's the latest finish time, so 20 hours. So why I want to share this with you is I've had some really interesting experiences as an athlete from many years ago until training for something like this. I've done an ultramarathon in the past, I've done marathons, I've done many, many other running races, everything from 5Ks up to that ultramarathon. And I can tell you that this is a pretty unique and different type of training, because it takes a lot of different aspects, because walking with weight is insanely difficult. Training to do things overnight, which I have been such a challenge, because I work when I practice and see patients. I'm up at 5 a.m. and then I usually get home those days. I get home like at 8 p.m. at night. So I'm pretty, I'm charged up. I'm good when I get home, but I'm looking to spend time with my wife. I'm not looking to get home, say hi, love you, eat dinner, and run out the door. So night training has been a challenge for me. We just started doing them, and this week we've had, well, I think almost all 7 days we did some kind of activity, or I did some kind of activity, and it's kind of crazy because I'm not running, and to me, I love momentum and moving, and it just takes a longer time to walk than it does run. So it's a good mind game. So this is all another reason I'm sharing with you, because I've tried and tested so many different types of uh, tactics and habits and things that I've learned through the podcast from all of these guests. Was what I want to do is to be able to maximize my potential so I can get from, I started training for this, so you have an idea. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see 30 days out, we started to push the training, or I started to push the training really hard so we can actually make it through all the way to the start date, which is November 2nd, and crush this event. I'm not looking forward to starting and failing. Listen, anything's possible. I'll be the first to admit, I've been injured and it sucks. And I've run on an injured knee. I've done things that are challenging. So I don't want to be knocked out of this event. So I'm training really hard. I'm using skills and tactics, which I'm going to share with you, because out of this will probably come another program for, or add to a program, our endurance program, other things that may boost. And I hate the word hack, but really it's maximizing in the shortest period of time by using everything the world has to offer, not drugs or surgery or anything like that, but everything natural that allow us to boost and move forward. So here are a few things I'll share with you that we've done, or I have done so far. I keep saying we because I'm doing this event with a good friend of mine named John. He's a young 59 years old. So for those of you that say, oh, I would never do anything like that, I'm too old, I'm 40. Listen, I'm less than a year away from 40 at this point. You can do anything that you put your heart and your mind to, okay, and your will, and put some persistency and consistency behind it. So this is what I've done. Starting early in the beginning, I figured, okay, I know I'm going to be moving for 16 hours to 20 hours. I want to finish it faster. My walking paces on average have been about 15-minute miles with the weight, with hills. I live in a very suburban area. There's a lot of hills. Town is called Rockland County, so it's like these little hills that were constantly going up and down, up and down. So I needed to have weight on my shoulders for periods of time, and I would even probably do some training with this rucksack of mine that I got with weight, and like doing pull-ups and push-ups and doing everything with this rucksack on. So one of the most important things that I've done is realize that I have to put a lot of hours of training in over the course of a week. And for those of you that have maybe not heard this or heard me say this before, when I do a distance race or a run or anything endurance-wise, if I know, let's say, for instance, a 50K is 32 miles or 50 kilometers, right? I know 2 weeks prior to this event that I have to at least have a minimum, the bare minimum of 50 kilometers in the bank. I call it my running bank, right? That week. I have to complete a total of that distance. Okay? So that's very important. What I realized with this type of endurance event, which is a walking event, 50 miles is a lot of walking. Very lot of walking, right? So I didn't think I was going to have enough time to put in 20 hours of actual walking in a week. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I'm talking about training walking, not just walking. Listen, I'm on my feet all day as a chiropractor. I'm bouncing around from room to room. I'm on my feet a lot. That's not the excuse me, that's not the challenge. The challenge is weight over time on my shoulders and having exercise happening and movement happening for a minimum of 20 hours in a week. So that's been the focus for me, is to just train, whether it's in the gym, it's walking with the rucksack on your back for 20 hours. So that's the way we hack the actual physical aspect of it. And I'll share, if you go on Instagram, you'll see all of my trainings. You'll see everything that I'm doing. So you don't have to, I'm not going to discuss all of those right now. You get to track and see all of them. And if you want more, I'll share more. that's the physical aspect. The nutritional aspect is huge. What I've had to do over the past month is I should say I'm not totally strict on my diet. I'm pretty good with how I eat, and I don't mean like I'm on a diet, but my nutritional program, like what I'm eating. Uh, I am making sure at 100% that I'm having uh, dense greens every day. And what I have for my greens every single day, there's two things that I have. One is algae. I have energy bits from the company Energy Bits. I use the spirulina right at the moment. That's what I use now. I take that every single day. That's my like greens, a superfood. That's vitamins, minerals, everything, all the above. I usually also will have a bone broth protein powder, and I also have in that I have added what do they call it? It's like a 5-in-1 collagen, and I also put in there another scoop of green powder, which I believe the company that I like for the green powder, um, that I still think is pretty good, is Sun Warrior. The only thing that I don't like too much about it is that it does have what's the natural sweetener, um, stevia in it. Not a lot, but I do like it as peppermint and things like that. And so I have another set of greens. So those are like the two big nutritional things that I'm adding into my diet. But what I'm avoiding is also just as important. And I'll talk to you also about how I eat. But I'm also nutrition wise, I am avoiding grain almost 100% 5 days a week. Refined grain, right? I'm not having breads or pastas or things like this. Excuse me, I have a tickle on my throat. I'm not having any of those things. But what I do have is I do have a lot of healthy fats, avocado, guac, really good nuts and seeds. I love macadamia nuts, almonds, walnuts, pecans. A lot of them. I'm having a lot of coconut oil. I'm having bulletproof style coffee, so caprylic acid and Kerrygold butter blended into my coffee every morning. Uh, Usually having at least one salad a day, and most of the times having cooked veggies at night. I'm having a moderate amount of protein. I'm not like so jacked up on protein. I'm a higher fat, moderate protein, and a lot of veggies in my diet. A lot of green throughout the day. But what I've learned over time with all these interviews we've done is that your gut, your digestive tract is not like high protein. At least for most people, these things can become, can start to oxidate and become, am I saying the right word? Yeah. They become problematic in your gut. They just sit there. The proteins, if you have too much protein, it's hard to break down. So what I've done and started to do, I haven't started to do this, but I do a lot of intermittent fasting, 5 days a week, almost sometimes even 7 days a week, depending on the weekend. But I'm usually eating my first meal of the day, so I'll have bulletproof coffee and water. Right, that I have that from 5 a.m. until about 2 p.m. And I usually will have my first meal of the day, which will be salad, right? So veggies, some protein, some fat, and then I usually polish it off with my spirulina. I usually have my greens also at the same time. I have that at lunchtime. Obviously, I'm drinking water throughout the whole day. I keep going, keep going, keep going. I'll have, very rarely will I snack at this point, but I will start to have, I might have that protein shake or drink that I mentioned with the collagen protein, the greens, and the collagen in there. Oh, and I forgot to mention the one thing that I started putting in is beetroot powder. I put a nice big spoonful of that in there. I absolutely love beets, and it's good for your blood vessels and lots of other things. So we can go into detail of these on other episodes. But I've been putting that in. Oh man, I really got a tickle on my throat. But so I'm adding these things in, and then I'll usually have dinner right when I get home, which is about 8 o'clock ish. Healthy meal. My wife will make dinner most nights, and that I'm in the city, and it is usually absolutely awesome. And she follows this similar eating style that I do anyway, or we follow each other, I should say, to be to be truthful. But we're usually having some kind of cooked veggies, protein. Sometimes we have salad nights, sometimes we don't. Most of the time it's cooked veggies. and that's it. If I have a cheat at night, which I tend to do when I'm training really hard, my cheat at night is is I love peanut butter, almond butter, peanut butter, and I usually have some good quality dark chocolate chips. I'll throw some in there and some dried raw coconut in there. But what I forgot to mention is that I do this most nights, and this is something I learned from Dave Asprey of Bulletproof, is good healthy carbs at night when I'm training hard. And the carbs that I'm using are what we call power potatoes, that I call them, and one power rice. So I have organic white rice that I add Kerrygold butter and coconut oil to, and I mix it up. When it's cooked, awesome. And some pink Himalayan salt for the minerals. And the and the power potatoes are the same way I make bulletproof coffee. But I use coconut oil, a lot of butter, cinnamon, pink Himalayan salt, and I have this all over the potatoes and roast them. They're usually cubed into little pieces, so I make a lot of them. I'll usually have that every single night of the week. Sometimes I forget and just don't have them. Other nights I do. So that's the food aspect. Let's get into the next aspect, which is going to be mindset. The mindset game is probably one of the most important pieces of the puzzle here. And there are a couple ways that I use mindset to help my training versus hurt my training. And self-talk, which you've probably heard many of the people like Tony Robbins or Brendan Burchard, self-talk is so important. And if you're talking to yourself and like, oh, this is so hard, this sucks, you're creating the physiology, though, the way your body works. Your brain sending signals to your body and going to let it know that, wow, this is going to be really hard. So it's going to expect that. It's going to perform that way. So just your self-talk alone is huge. If you're talking to yourself and saying, I can do this, I'm in this. I know this sounds really cheesy, but if you can have really good, healthy, positive self-talk, that is so freaking huge. That's step one. Step two, what I like to do, I have meditations that I do daily. I have breathing techniques that I will use as well, and I do them different times of day. And I use certain techniques that Wim Hof teaches, combined with stuff that I've learned from Tony Robbins, combined with other techniques that I've learned over the years. And these breathing techniques act as meditation as well. I love using guided meditations. I use ones from Joe Dispenza. I actually use one that I've created for myself. It's kind of weird listening to yourself talk, but I do it anyway sometimes. It's kind of weird. But nonetheless, we have meditations that we've created with Lifestyle Locker for endurance athletes and for people really that just want to perform better in life. So meditations should be done in the morning, preferably, so you start your day in power. But also what it does, regardless of your training schedule, if you're going to be able to train right after that, or if you're heading to work, you're going into your day with great energy, great power, great focus, and then you can use a breathing technique, at lunchtime to kind of recenter yourself. And I do this at night as well. I love doing breathing techniques at night. I love doing it because for two reasons. One, it helps oxygenate the system. Two, what happens is as you're kind of paying attention, I hate using that word, as you're paying attention to your breathing, you're unable to think about all the BS that may have gone on in your day. You're not able to think about all the things, oh my God, I have to do this tomorrow. You're focused on breath. And when you do that, your mind stays nice and calm. It's easy to relax, and you can actually get to sleep nice and easily. But speaking about things that you do during the day, in the evening, and the morning, their mindset hack that I love is journaling. And there are a couple things that we've learned from a couple of our guests. What I think is a great habit to do is you prepare today for tomorrow. Make your list for tomorrow today. And if you're able to do this a couple hours before you go to bed, it's kind of like a brain dump of all the stuff you need to do. So you get it on paper so your mind does not need to think about it. We learned this from Dr. Michael Bruce, right? He's the sleep doctor. So if we can do that, and then you can just spend a couple minutes even just writing something positive before bed, like have a little gratitude journal. Put something positive down on paper before you go lay down and do your breath work and start doing some breathing. These are techniques that I use that allow your body to heal faster, that allow your body to focus on the positive, that allow your body to actually heal and function at higher levels, especially when you're going to be performing at higher levels. So those are amazing mindset techniques. And also a great way to train if you're able to. And I haven't had the chance to do so much of it because schedules collide, and this type of training is different than, we'll say, training for 5K or training for a short distance race. Is we're spending hours of time, or I'm spending hours of time, so I've been unable to train with someone. But I feel if you have a community you're able to work with, for instance, when I was involved in CrossFit, I loved it for the mere reason that the fact that you are with a group of people that are encouraging for you to lift heavier weights, to push you a little bit harder beyond where you even may think you may be able to go. That's why I love CrossFit, because of that community aspect. So if you can work out or train for an endurance event or train for something like this, it's always a win if you have help doing it. I did one training with my buddy John not too long ago, and we did almost a 10-mile ruck. It went by so fast just because we were talking the whole time. I joke around. I say John's kind of like a walking encyclopedia. He I can ask him a question and he can keep going. He's going to listen to this and laugh. But I love doing stuff with him like this, and my other buddy Mike. If when we get the chance to do stuff like this, we can get and have great conversation, about cool things. But also what happens is this momentum, our focus is, we know we have that end target, but we're able to allow our mind not to think about, oh my God, I have 16 hours left. Oh my God, I have 10 hours left. Oh my God, I have 5 miles, whatever it may be. So our minds are occupied with each other's conversation so that our body can just do what it's designed to do, right? It's going to keep moving and keep moving. So I encourage you to do all those things. I encourage you to make sure you're training hard if you're doing this, because that's how I love to train. Make sure that you are eating really clean. Your body performs better. And I'll tell you, the days that I do cheat with food, it impacts me the day after. So as I get closer and closer to this event, my cheat days become cheat, not a day, it becomes like a cheat meal. And it's not going to probably be crazy. So the nutrition has a huge aspect, but here's the crazy thing. What you're putting in your body nutritionally or on your skin, all of these things will actually even have an impact on your mindset and vice versa. So really cool. If your mindset's crappy, then you're going to probably make worse food choices as well. So make sure all these pieces of this puzzle are great for you, for your endurance game, because for me, this event has been a culmination of a lot of the things that I've learned, and a lot of the interviews that I've done. I've been able to apply a lot of this, from the cold water immersion to breathing techniques to the nutrition to, of course, getting adjusted. I'm a chiropractor. So I follow and practice what I preach, getting adjusted every single week. The more intense I train, the more frequent I'll be getting adjusted. I'll probably be getting adjusted 2 to 3 times a week these next couple of weeks coming up before the event, just to make sure my central nervous system is firing and wiring at maximum capacity so I can just kick ass, right? That's what I need to do. Because if the nervous system is firing, wiring, and communicating to the body the best way, my mindset, better. Nutrition, I'm going to digest better because the nerves are going to be talking to my digestive tract better. 3, I'm going to move better because biomechanically, if the spine is moving in an awesome way, so does the body. So that's where I'm at. That's where we are. Episode 99. We're hitting number 100 next time. I cannot believe it. So freaking cool. So if you're listening to this, make sure you do 2 things. 1, if you have not hit the subscribe button on iTunes, do that. Make sure you're downloading these. And 2, if you're finding value in this, make sure you share it with someone that you love, share it with a friend, share it with someone you think that will benefit from it. These are for free, so take advantage of them, learn from them, share with them, or share them. And Look forward to many more years of sharing with all of you. Have an awesome day, evening, or night wherever you are listening. Peace out. Lifestyle Locker Nation, thank you so much for listening to episode 99. How cool is that? And you all know this at this point, that we love helping people unleash their human potential, sharing awesome content. But we are big into the running and endurance game at this point. We want to share our program with you. Our program is insanely cheap at the moment. And hopefully while you're listening to this, it is still that price. I believe it is $7. It's called the 45-Day Lifestyle Locker Endurance Challenge. It comes with everything from the meditations to the mindset to recipes for food, full programming for the training. And it's not your typical running training. This is something that's going to help you stay healthy, get fit, and create longer distance runs or even rucks like I'm doing now in a very short period of time. And very soon, and within the next 2 to 3 weeks possibly, we'll be launching our couch to 5K in 5 weeks for $5 for those that just want to get into the running game or want to complete their first 5K to see what it's like. This program is going to be for you, and that will be at lifestylelocker.com/5K. All right. So that's everything, Locker Nation. Make sure you do stay connected with us at lifestylelocker.com. Make sure you do stay connected with us on facebook.com/lifestyle locker. And you can connect me directly if you'd like on Instagram at Dr. Josh Hant. That's at Dr. Josh Hant. And I will definitely stay connected with you because I love seeing people do awesome things. All right, y'all. Have an awesome day, evening, night, wherever you're listening. All right. Peace out.